Have you ever noticed that no matter what happens in your life, there is something within you that never changes? Who is it that knows you are happy? Who is it that knows you are anxious? Who is aware that your mind is constantly thinking? If your thoughts are changing every second, then who is watching those thoughts? If your emotions rise and fall like waves, then what is it that remains untouched? And perhaps the greatest question of all, if everything you call me can be observed, then who are you really? These questions may seem mysterious at first, but every great spiritual tradition points toward them because hidden within these questions lies the doorway to freedom. The ancient sage Ashtavakra spoke about it over 2,000 years ago. Modern teachers continue to point toward the same truth. In The Greatest Secret Asterisk, Rhonda Byrne describes awareness as the key that ends suffering. Different words, different centuries, the same timeless truth. Today, let's explore what awareness really is, why it is the foundation of spiritual awakening, and how simply becoming the witness can gradually dissolve fear, attachment, and the illusion of separation. Most of us spend our entire lives believing we are our thoughts. A thought appears. I am not good enough. Immediately, we believe it. Another thought comes. What if something bad happens? Again, we believe it. Then another thought. They don't love me. And before we realize it, our mood changes, our body reacts, and our entire day is controlled by a few passing mental images. But have you ever stopped to notice something extraordinary? You know these thoughts are happening. The very fact that you can observe your thinking means you cannot actually be your thoughts. The observer is always separate from what is being observed. You can observe your body. Therefore, you are not merely the body. You can observe emotions. Therefore, emotions come and go within you. You can observe memories. Therefore, memories are objects appearing inside consciousness. Even your personality changes throughout life. The child you once were, the teenager, the adult, they are all different. Yet something has remained exactly the same. The silent knowing, the presence that has witnessed every stage of your life. The Ashtavakra Gita calls this your true nature. It is the Sakshi, the witness, pure awareness itself. The word asterisk Sakshi simply means the witness. Not a witness that judges. Not a witness that controls. Just awareness itself. Imagine sitting beside a river. Leaves float by. Branches drift past. Sometimes the water is calm. Sometimes it rushes violently. Do you become the river? No. You simply watch. The river represents your mind. Thoughts are the leaves. Emotions are the waves. Memories are the currents. Awareness simply watches everything flow. The problem begins when awareness forgets itself and jumps into the river. Instead of observing anger, I am angry. Instead of witnessing fear, I am afraid. Instead of noticing sadness, I am depressed. Notice the difference. The moment awareness identifies with experience, suffering begins. The Ashtavakra Gita repeatedly reminds King Janaka of one profound truth. You are never what appears. You are only the one to whom it appears. Clouds move through the sky. But does the sky become wet? Storms rage. Yet the vast space itself remains untouched. Similarly, awareness is never harmed by what passes through it. Pain may arise. Thoughts may arise. Joy may arise. Fear may arise. But awareness remains unchanged. It simply knows. This is why sages describe awareness as eternal. Not because the body lives forever, but because awareness itself is never born and never dies. Everything else changes. Awareness alone remains. One of the greatest misunderstandings on the spiritual path is believing awakening means acquiring something new. Many people think enlightenment means seeing lights, having mystical visions, opening psychic abilities, experiencing constant bliss. These experiences may happen, or they may not, but they are still experiences, and every experience eventually ends. Awakening is not about adding experiences. It is about discovering the one who experiences everything. That discovery changes everything. Many people wonder why spiritual awakening often feels uncomfortable before it feels peaceful. The reason is simple. The ego survives through identification. It constantly says, I am my achievements. I am my relationships. I am my possessions. I am my story. I am my trauma. I am my success. I am my failure. When awareness begins awakening, these identities start dissolving. This can feel frightening. You may question your career, your relationships, your beliefs, your purpose, even your sense of self. Many people mistake this stage for being lost. In reality, they are simply outgrowing an identity that was never truly them. This is why awakening often feels like everything is falling apart. In truth, only the false is falling away. The real cannot be destroyed. Spiritual traditions often describe awakening as unfolding in stages. Although everyone's journey is unique, many seekers pass through similar phases. The first stage is unconscious living. Life is driven almost entirely by automatic thoughts, habits, fears, desires, and external validation. The second stage begins with questioning. A person starts wondering, who am I beyond my roles? Why do success and possessions not bring lasting peace? Is there something deeper? The third stage is inner conflict. Old identities begin breaking down. Emotional patterns surface. Long-buried fears and wounds become impossible to ignore. This can feel confusing, lonely, or even painful, but it is often a necessary purification. The fourth stage is the discovery of the witness. Instead of reacting automatically, you begin noticing your thoughts and emotions. You realize there is anger rather than I am anger. A subtle space appears between awareness and experience. The fifth stage is deep surrender. Life no longer feels like something to control constantly. There is increasing trust, acceptance, and peace, even when circumstances are uncertain. You stop fighting every moment and begin flowing with life. Finally, glimpses of liberation arise. The sense of being a separate self softens. Love becomes less conditional. Fear loses much of its grip. Inner peace is no longer dependent on perfect circumstances because it comes from recognizing your true nature as awareness itself. These stages are not rigid steps. People may move back and forth between them many times. What matters is not reaching a final destination, but becoming increasingly established as the silent witness. Rhonda Byrne explains in The Greatest Secret that awareness itself is already complete. Nothing needs to be added. Nothing needs to be fixed. The only problem is identification. Imagine watching a movie. The hero cries. The villain attacks. There is suspense. There is joy. There is loss. Yet throughout the movie, the screen remains untouched. Fire appears. The screen does not burn. Rain appears. The screen never gets wet. Violence appears. The screen remains unharmed. Awareness is like that screen. Life is the movie. The ego becomes trapped inside the story. Awareness simply knows the story is appearing. This understanding gradually transforms everyday life. Someone criticizes you. Instead of reacting immediately, awareness notices hurt arising. Traffic becomes frustrating. Awareness notices impatience. Fear about the future appears. Awareness notices fear. Notice what changes. The external situation may remain exactly the same, but suffering begins decreasing because identification weakens. You no longer become every passing thought. You witness it. This is also why awareness is considered the path to moksha, or liberation. Liberation does not necessarily mean escaping the world. It means becoming free while living within it. Free from compulsive thinking. Free from unconscious emotional reactions. Free from endless psychological suffering. The body continues living. The mind continues functioning. Relationships continue. Responsibilities continue. But inwardly there is spaciousness. Peace no longer depends entirely on external conditions. This is the freedom that sages describe. So how can we practice becoming the witness? It is surprisingly simple, although not always easy. Several times throughout the day, pause for a few moments. Notice your breathing without trying to change it. Watch thoughts arise naturally. Do not chase them. Do not suppress them. Simply observe. Ask gently, what is aware of this thought? What is aware of this emotion? Then remain silent, not searching for an intellectual answer, simply resting as the awareness that already knows. Gradually, you begin experiencing moments where thoughts continue, but you remain peaceful. Emotions arise, but they no longer completely define you. Life continues, but something within remains still. That stillness is not something you create. It has always been there. The Ashtavakra Gita gives one of its most liberating messages. You are already free. You only imagine yourself to be bound. This is perhaps the most radical teaching in all of spirituality. Freedom is not somewhere in the future. It is hidden beneath mistaken identity. You do not become awareness. You recognize that you have always been awareness. The witness has been silently present through every joy, every heartbreak, every success, every failure, every birth, and every ending. It has never left you. It cannot leave you, because it is what you truly are. So the next time your mind becomes restless, the next time fear appears, the next time anxiety whispers endless stories, pause for just one moment. Instead of asking, how do I stop these thoughts? Ask, who is aware of these thoughts? Remain there, not as the thinker, not as the emotion, not as the story, but as the silent, spacious awareness in which all experience comes and goes. Perhaps that is why the sages smiled with such effortless peace. Not because life became perfect, but because they discovered the one thing that was never disturbed by life at all. And maybe that same silent witness is reading these words through your eyes right now.